on Tech Tonight, a prominent artist is recognized in naming the Center for the Arts building. We'll tell you more.
And campus has been crawling with politics with the election day right around the corner. Find out the details next.
Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Sarah Klein.
And I'm Carly Gillespie.
An officer-involved shooting happened during the late evening on October 27th. The suspect, now identified as Jonathan Robertson, pulled out a weapon on officers after stopping across from Fletcher's Mountain Road in Narrows, Virginia. When the group identified themselves as police, Robertson drew his weapon and started to shoot. Robertson got into his car and took off, and stopped again to shoot at police after he ran over a spike strip that flattened his tires. He then left the scene again and finally drove off of the road after police chased after him. Robertson was taken to Giles Memorial Hospital and was flown to Roanoke Memorial Hospital, where he later died. No officers were hurt at any of the shooting scenes.
6 people last Friday were hospitalized after a trip to the local Goodwill in Christiansburg. The group of people was sent to Lewis Gale Hospital, Montgomery, after suffering from severe nausea and headaches while in the store. The building was evacuated following both customer and employee complaints of feeling ill. The illnesses were caused by carbon monoxide exposure, and it is still being investigated as to where the leak was coming from. All 6 victims are now in stable condition, according to the most recent press release, and the Goodwill is expected to reopen next Friday.
Roanoke City's main library is closed until late fall of 2014 for renovations. The renovations are expected to cost around $3 million, adding 4 meeting rooms and 2 large outdoor patios. More space for children, specifically preschoolers and elementary students, will be added. The facility is also updating their technology with all of the latest gadgets. While the Roanoke City Library is closed, other public libraries will have extended hours. The Gainsborough and Jackson Park libraries will open on Wednesdays starting December 2nd.
Everyone and their dog were out this past Saturday to show their support for breast cancer. The Brambleton Veterinary Clinic of Roanoke held the Big Paws for the Pink Cause event that offered $5 nail trims for pets, raffle prizes for pets and people, and beautiful artwork. The purpose of the event touched the heart of staff member Edie Anderson immensely, who 2 years ago battled with breast cancer herself. The event was an overwhelming success, raising over $2,000 for the American Cancer Society.
With your news around Virginia Tech. The Democratic and Republican candidates for governor of Virginia took part in their 3rd debate in Squire Student Center October 24th. Democratic candidate Terry McAuliffe and Republican candidate Ken Cuccinelli viciously argued about women's rights, education, gun rights, and jobs during the final debate for the election. Polls showed Democratic McAuliffe ahead of Republican Cuccinelli anywhere from 7 to 9 points. Libertarian candidate Robert Zarvis was not included in the debate. The election will be held Tuesday, November 5th. The Moss Arts Center was just announced the name of the new $100 million building on campus, known as the Center for the Arts. The building is named after prominent artist Patricia Buckley Moss. Moss's philanthropy donated $10 million to the completion of the project, which is one of the largest donations Virginia Tech has ever received. President Steger said the decision to name the center after Moss was a reflection of her commitment to the arts and comprehensive art education. Synth pop band Passion Pit is set to perform at Virginia Tech in the coming weeks. Passion Pit is popular across the U.S. for their hits like Sleepyhead and Take a Walk. VTU presents Passion Pit with The Joy Formidable on November 4th at 7:30 in Burris Auditorium. Tickets are $20 for students, $25 for faculty and staff, and $30 for the general public. Tickets are on sale now, online, and at Squire Student Center.
Oh, what am I gonna do? I need a break from all this work. I really want to find stuff about like sports around campus. What am I gonna do? There's no. What's going?
Hey man, looks like you're having some trouble there. Dude, you need to find BTTV, man. Channel
BTTV?
33.
What's that?
Dude, it's the place where you can find all your entertainment, sports, news, and special productions, man.
Oh, sweet. Thanks,
That's
bro.
where you gotta go, man.
Yeah.
And that, viewers, is how the Hokie crossed the river. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Kip. Breaking news. BTTV is the only TV station with all your Hokie needs. We have sports,
Entertainment,
and news. Tune in to BTTV on Channel 33.
television for students, by students.
Brides gathered to downtown Roanoke for the Roanoke Wedding Network's first bridal crawl on Saturday. Over 60 wedding vendors showcased their services in 6 buildings, including Hotel Roanoke and Patrick Henry Hotel. All of the proceeds from the wedding crawl support the Roanoke Valley SPCA.
Early Monday morning, Roanoke teen Deshaw Taylor pleaded no contest to shooting and wounding a 13-year-old girl at a party this past May. Taylor was indicted in late September for 2 felony charges of use of a firearm and malicious wounding. The 17-year-old could serve up to 8 years in prison and will forever be committed as a serious offender in the Department of Juvenile Justice. Roanoke City Police found Taylor hiding under his bed when they came to arrest him and found the matching firearm used in the shooting under his mattress. Thankfully, the victim of the shooting has now fully recovered from the incident.
And that, viewers, is how the Hokie crossed the river. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Kip. Breaking news. BTTV is the only TV station with all your Hokie needs. We have sports,
Entertainment,
and news. Tune in to BTTV on Channel 33.
television for students, by students.
And welcome back. I'm Erin Connors with your sports headlines. The Hokies dropped their first ACC game of the season on Saturday with a disappointing 13-10 upset loss to Duke. While Tech dominated the game statistically, outgaining the Blue Devils 387 yards to 198, several costly mistakes by the Hokies turned out to be their undoing. Quarterback Logan Thomas threw 4 interceptions over the course of the game, and kicker Cody Durnell missed 2 field goals, allowing Duke to come out on top. The loss ends Tech's 6-game winning streak and brings their record to 6-2 overall and 3-1 in the ACC. And to make matters even worse for the Hokies, they now find themselves unranked yet again, falling from 14th in the BCS standings to outside the top 25. And while it may have been a disappointing weekend for Tech, the Blue Devils, on the other hand, have much to celebrate about. With the win, Duke not only snaps its 12-game losing streak to the Hokies, but also picks up its first victory against a nationally ranked opponent since 1994. The stage is now set for a historic season for the Blue Devils as they now find themselves bowl eligible, all but clinching what will be their first consecutive bowl appearance in the program history. The Hokies will try to redeem themselves this Saturday as they travel to Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College. Kickoff is at noon. And moving on to this week's NFL wrap-up, the Redskins' less than stellar season continued on Sunday with a 45-21 loss to the Broncos. After 4 turnovers by quarterback Peyton Manning, Denver managed to overcome a 2-touchdown deficit to score the final 38 points in what turned out to be a runaway victory for the Broncos. With the loss, Washington's record falls to 2-5 overall, while Denver improves to 7-1. Not to worry though, Redskins fans. The Cowboys also came away with a difficult loss this weekend after falling to Detroit 31-30. With just over a minute left in the game, Dallas found themselves with a 6-point lead over the Lions, but that deficit would quickly disappear. With the clock ticking down, Detroit quarterback Matthew Stafford led an outstanding final drive, gaining 80 yards in less than a minute to set the Lions up just outside the end zone with only 12 seconds left of play. A 1-yard lunge by quarterback Matt Stafford was all Detroit needed to secure the victory, powering the Lions to a 1-point win over the Cowboys. And with the loss, Dallas falls to 4-4 overall, while Detroit improves to 5-3. And finally, in Major League Baseball news, if the first 5 games of the series have been any indication, the 2013 World Series is shaping up to be one of the most exciting yet. Tied 1-1 after the first 2 games, the Red Sox and the Cardinals found themselves tied once again going into the final inning of Game 3 on Saturday night. With the score tied up at 4-4 in the closing moments of the game, no one could have imagined the turn of events that were about to unfold in Busch Stadium. In perhaps the wildest finish ever to a World Series game, an obstruction call was made against Boston third baseman Will Middlebrooks after Cardinals player Alan Craig tripped over his legs rounding third. The rare ruling allowed Craig to score with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth and lifted St. Louis to a 2-1 lead over Boston, marking the first time a World Series game has ever been decided by an obstruction call. And just one night after that controversial ruling, Game 4 of the series finished up on an equally unusual note after Red Sox relief pitcher Koji Uehara picked off rookie pinch runner Colton Wong at first base for the final out, powering Boston to a 4-2 victory over the Cardinals, and once again tying up the series at 2-2. The game brought about yet another first in Major League Baseball history, as it marks the first time that a postseason game has ended with a pickoff. And after a 3-1 victory in Game 5 on Monday night, the Red Sox now enjoy a 3-2 advantage over the Cardinals heading into the final 2 games of the series, putting Boston just 1 win away from securing the title. And coming up, Hannah Gray brings you this week's national headlines.
Welcome back. I'm Hannah Gray with your national headlines. Iraq authorities claim that 5 people were killed west of Baghdad at a police checkpoint due to a bombing and an ambush. Police officials claim that the deadly attack happened Monday when a bomb exploded in the commercial street in Abu Ghraib area just outside the capital. The bomb killed 3 people and wounded 5 others. Just 1 hour later, 2 policemen were killed when the gunmen shot up a security checkpoint in the former al-Qaeda stronghold city of Fallujah. A British judge dismissed requests to release a video exemplifying the alleged execution of an Afghan by UK soldiers, saying there was a real risk the footage could be used for terrorist propaganda and put British military personnel at risk. The footage was recorded by a helmet-mounted camera and supposedly showed a soldier shooting an injured Afghan sergeant in the chest. This was shown at a court-martial last week for Royal Marines charged with the Afghan's murder. The Ministry of Defense has objected all media applications for the release of the video. A woman obtained serious arm injuries when a shark mauled her on Monday as she snorkeled off Australia's remote northwest coast. The woman was snorkeling with her husband about 40 yards from the beach when she was bitten. The couples have reported the shark initially showed signs of aggression towards the husband, but then turned around and bit the woman's arm. The woman was flown from the Exmouth Hospital about 740 miles to the Western Australia state capital for surgery on her right arm. Her injuries are serious, but not life-threatening.
Thank you, Hannah.
Can you guys believe that story about the carbon monoxide leak at Goodwill?
I cannot, and I've actually been in there a few times, and I've bought clothes in there. Hopefully that didn't go on while I was in there. I don't know, I haven't been there lately, but that's crazy.
I feel like, because I've been there too, I feel like I need to wash, like, my clothes. Because I was in there, like, just like 2 weeks ago. And, like, carbon monoxide, that can be really harming to your body, like lifelong term. So.
I just can't believe, because I almost went there last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What if I was one of the 6?
Well, I'm glad you weren't. That's it for Tech Tonight. I'm Sarah Klein.
I'm Carly Gillespie.
And I'm Hannah Gray. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in next week.